Hello, friends, colleagues, former lovers, if you're lucky. This is Yeah, but Are You Happy? The podcast. Lane Lane Ingram,
Where,
who are you? What are we going to talk about today?
hey, I thought to myself, let's start a podcast 2 years ago about the intersection of mental health and comedy and also slash creativity. And here we are 2 years later, and we're doing it. And I'm Lane Ingram. I'm a therapist who also is a comedy person and on psych meds. And I'm one of the two hosts. I think you're the other host, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you're not, Lane. I'm Katie. I do a podcast with Lane. You're listening to it. I'm a copywriter. I do have bipolar 2 disorder that I treat with medication and therapy. My other interests include physical exercise. Gotta keep in touch with that. Comedy, uh writing, the show Third Rock from the Sun, as we've established.
Yeah. How's that coming along?
Good. We're on the final season now.
Whoa.
For anyone who doesn't know, I've been watching Third Rock from the Sun, one episode a day for the past 4 months. And finally into the final season. It's pretty good. It's actually
Nice.
I would say it's the best since season 2-ish, because first they had this really clean game, right? Sorry, hold on. For a minute, I'm just going to talk about Third Rock from the Sun.
Yep.
Third Rock from the Sun, very clean game. Aliens come to Earth and have to learn the weirdest parts about Earth life. For their 24 episode seasons, first two seasons, great. You got like 48 clean games about what's weird about humanity. Then there's 6 seasons. So for the next like 3, they try to keep playing that game, and some of them are great. But then sometimes you're like, y'all are scraping the bottom. / now this is just like a stereotype that you're exploring. In one, they go to a white power rally. And
What?
they learn that they don't like it. But it was like, you didn't need to do all that. And then the ending wasn't very anyway. In the 3rd season, they were like, or the 6th season, they've been doing it for so long, they're like, fuck it. They invent another universe where Tommy, who is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, is on Saturday Night Live, and
What?
Don Orville, who is played by Wayne Knight, is the mayor of New York City, and all this stuff. And they travel into that dimension for a while, and they really clearly just wanted to write a different show for a minute. And then just random shit like that. Oh, there was one where no, it won't be fun to explain. They're
No,
just some weird ones. And
no,
I'm
that's
like,
crazy.
yeah, let it
Yeah.
jump the shark. This was always a weird show. You could always have done more.
So there were 6 seasons of that show total?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Really.
Well, I vaguely remember when it started, people were calling it like really fresh and clever because
Yeah.
that game, I like that expression, it was a clean game.
Yeah.
It had a very strong start out of the gate.
Yeah.
And then I do remember it kind of like people just stopped talking about it after a
Yeah.
couple of years. And so maybe that's why. That's interesting. You know what it reminds me of is did you ever get into the show News Radio?
I did, but that was like legit a show I watched as a child when I didn't get it, and it just when it was on, so I don't remember it.
I only watched it for Joe Rogan. I'm what you call an early adopter of the News Radio, great show, but kind of a weird thing that in their last season or maybe 2 seasons, they did some very weird episodes. They did an episode that took place on the normal set of their radio station, but it was like a dreamscape where they were all on the Titanic. They did like a Titanic episode. It's very bizarre. It reminds me of what you were saying. It's like they just wanted to write a different show for a while or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there's one episode of Buffy where they established that the entire show of Buffy is a fantasy of Buffy's that exists in her head. And at the end, they don't change that. So you don't, the show isn't in her head. That's stupid. But at the same time, that is, if you chose to believe that, that's canon. Why did people do this? People get bored of the show they're writing and they're just like, what if we didn't?
We're just making it different. That's, yeah, I guess that's back in the heyday of the 24 episode seasons, laugh track, just cranking them out. I don't even know how they did it.
Third Rock is filmed in front of a live studio audience, and Sanjay and I have started talking about how if we could go back in time, we might go, because it really is just a fucking Harold sketch comedy show done by John Lithgow and Jane Curtin are two of the best physical comedians. They have games where they'll like physically attack each other in a wholesome way, and those are the best. Those are the best moments.
Yeah, Jane
the first
Curtin.
time they have sex, so funny. What?
Well, I was gonna say Jane Curtin. I think people forget that she was one of the original Saturday Night Live cast members.
Oh yeah, and regarded as one of the best straight men in comedy history, but specifically SNL history.
Yeah, for sure. No, and by all accounts, one of the most normal comedy people to ever walk the face of the earth. Just a well-adjusted, normal person, isn't it? Yeah.
Let's get her on. If anybody's got Jane Curtin's number, how old is she now? What's the last thing she did? I bet she's still sharp. She has those vibes.
Those vibes of like a healthy, kind of a Diane Keaton, like very lucid, healthy.
Oh, she's 73 and she chose to age naturally and she's so cute.
Oh, nice. I kind of want to.
She's so cute.
Google now.
Yeah, do it. I'll send a pic to the chat. Anybody who's at home, go ahead and just wish that Jane Curtin was your grandma. She's much younger. She's much younger than my grandpa. Minimally older than my parents.
Yeah, she's
link didn't work
very gracefully. That's the way to do it, folks. Yeah.
That said, have we talked about how since moving to LA, I think about getting plastic surgery all the time?
Yeah, I think you did mention that, but I can't remember if it was.
All the time.
I can't remember if it was on the air.
Fortunately, I don't have to get Botox now because my bangs literally cover all my wrinkles. So I think I'm just going to keep them. Listeners, I didn't used to have bangs. I do now. Don't need Botox anymore, but I have decided where and when I'll get liposuction.
Well, I can't tell if you look fantastic. I don't know if I don't know if it's filters. I don't know if it's just that fresh air and vitamin D you're getting in Los Angeles.
I got a B12 shot yesterday. Y'all ever got one of those?
It's been a long time, but I have gotten. Well, yeah, those are good, right?
I had heard on podcasts that it was going to make me feel superhuman. I was going to feel so fucking good.
Yeah.
And so I drove out to the doctor for a follow-up. Half the time you have to go to a follow-up at the doctor. You don't need to fucking go there. Why don't you call me? I go to the doctor for a follow-up, and then to make it worth my while, she gave me a free B12 shot. And
nice.
I felt normal. I mean, it feels like a good average day, I guess.
A good, yeah. No, I remember my mom used to always be into these kind of these weirdo doctors. Now, I'm not talking about like legitimate, thoughtful, holistic medicine doctors. Just kind of a little bit crackpot doctors, the kinds of doctors that maybe write diet pills and are currently under investigation by like a medical review board. Those kinds of doctors.
Yes.
And
presidential doctors.
Yeah, president. But I remember she would have me go to this place where they would do B12 IV drips. They would hook you up to an IV, and you would get a B12 bag attached to you, and you would sit in a recliner, and it smelled, how to put it? It smelled like, I don't know, Ritz crackers. It just had the whole place. Yeah. Not a fun place to be. this is why I take a vitamin B vitamin, a pill every day. So there's that.
Yeah.
No IV is
I
involved.
They told me to take those too. My B12 was apparently quite low. Some might say far too dangerously low. My D was all. I was also low on D. People have,
Ayo.
people
People what?
people love jokes. That's
Yes.
why they're here, Lane.
They love
Um,
it. And you might, not to brag, but you might say I'm low on D. I have a small penis. Anyway, we tonight are talking about the intersection of Manoa. I already said that. No, today we're talking about the calm after the storm. The calm after the storm, because I think I definitely relate to this. Katie, you mentioned this, and it right away resonated with me. And I know at least a couple of my clients are also dealing with this, and that is, what do we do now that Trump is not president anymore? It's not to say that things are fixed. We obviously still have a long way to go, but it does feel like there's a little bit of a calm right now where we can kind of catch our breath and reflect on the fact that, okay, uh, the world did not explode at any point over the last 4 years. In other words, we're still alive. No nuclear bombs went off uh, over here, or like North Korea. Like, somehow we managed to avoid a nuclear holocaust. We're here, and now what do we occupy our anxieties with? What like, how do we fill the void? Right? Isn't that
I think
uh,
so.
kind of what we're talking about? Yeah. And that is, would you, that's how I've been feeling. And Katie, would you say you've been feeling that way too?
Yeah, I feel like I'm always looking over my shoulder. I feel like I'm checking the news a lot, and then it's all still fine. Um, and then and it's like, yeah, there's more that can be done, but like, I don't. They're doing a lot of good stuff. They really undid some stuff fast, like as fast
Yes.
as they could. Like, to be fair, like the Supreme Court was at one point. I think somebody stopped one thing. They were just like, you can't do all of the things. Um, but anyway, where were we? Where were we going?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Do
yeah,
you
but
want to do, oh, sorry to interrupt, but I was going to see if we wanted to, before we went whole hog
oh,
into the topic, did we want to do a check-in, a little
should we
check-in?
check in, listeners? We often check in with each other to see where we're at emotionally. We'd love to check in with you, but you're not here.
Yeah.
Lane, how are you doing?
Oh, well, thank you for asking, Katie, because couple things with me. One, I haven't been getting very good sleep for the last week.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and the doctors told me to lose weight. No, that they tell me that every time I talk to a doctor. But apparently, as much as I love, this is part of one of the ongoing topics in our recent episodes, is I have a TV mounted in our bedroom now.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that's not conducive with good sleep when you're watching a television
Yeah.
at full volume, and then you're like, and now to turn my brain off. Apparently the brain doesn't like that.
Yeah.
So my sleep has been terrible. But here's the ironic thing: we just bought a brand new Casper mattress that arrived 4 days ago, and
Woo!
it is wonderful. The
Good.
bed, it's a brand new Casper. um, we Chloe and I both have back problems. We did a bunch of research. This Casper, it's called the Wave Hybrid,
Mm.
the Casper Wave Hybrid. It is had the highest ratings for back problems and several different features, like if you're a hot sleeper, which I am. I'm hot when I sleep, in that I sweat. But sadly, my sleep still hasn't been great. I've had a couple of good nights in there, but also my back has been killing me. Right before we started the show, I was complaining to you, Katie, that my back has been killing me. So there's that. Yet another reason why I'm trying to lose weight currently. So hopefully I need to get certain things under control, and maybe that will, if I were to lose a little bit of weight, maybe that will help with the old back problems. And hey, maybe it couldn't hurt with the whole sleep thing either, I guess. So
I support
yeah.
you in all things you choose.
Thank you.
As
I'm
you know,
trying.
because you have a piece of clothing that you can put it on at any time that says that I approve what you're doing right now.
I love it. Yes, the apron, and I'm thinking about busting that out this weekend. I should post. Yes, I should do that because I haven't grilled in a while, but I think I will, and I'll have to post the photographic evidence
Hell yeah.
of the apron.
Hell yeah. Do it.
Yeah. But no, yeah. So I guess that's kind of how I've been doing, and I have some other things that I'll save for when we talk a little bit more about the topic tonight that is kind of also related to how I've been doing. But I figured, why not start off with some back talk and sleep talk? You know, just getting back to basics. Katie.
Good. Me? Yes. Do you want me to tell you about myself? Is that why you said my name
yes.
twice?
No, I said Katie twice because I was so ashamed of my pun where I was saying like Kate, like
you're
yeah, I'm sorry. It was like an apologetic Katie.
I'm not calling for an insurrection against you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But how are you? How are you doing? How's your mental health and all of the things?
I'm okay. It's been cold and rainy here, which never happens, and did make me a little bit sadder than usual over the weekend, but I'm doing better. I wrote down 3 things for my mental health check-in. 1, Sanjay's mom is a doctor, and pharmaceutical companies can like give you gifts if they're like in the vein of business or something. So they sent her a Fitbit, and then she sent it to me, which, you know, we can look at the context around that all day. But regardless, today I've been interacting with my Fitbit. I did decide to use it. I was originally not planning on using it as a form of protest, but it's cool. It tells the time, and it lights up just when you flip your watch around. So you saw that.
Oh, nice.
And you can play music and open and answer calls, which is too much for me. I don't like that my wrist can listen.
Yeah, cool. The future is here.
The future is here. It's basically an Apple Watch. So I've got fancier way fast.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so it made me walk around. If you're curious, I went for a 20-minute walk today, and I've moved 4,000 steps. I don't think that's high enough.
Sounds good though.
I think your goal's supposed to be 10. And if
Man.
I exercised, you know what I mean? Anyway,
Yeah.
I just mean when we're home, we don't move.
I know, yeah.
Oh, and then can I tell you the funny story about what happened to me today?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
I'm going to briefly, this is a little bit divergent, but it just spawned me. Oh, I did have an edible before we started this.
Hey.
I've never done that before. And I meant to mention that way earlier.
You've never done
Well, I've never done it before the podcast. I'm never high on the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I respect the medium, but I decided to figure out if it made me more likable. Just kidding.
Made you more likable.
Okay. So let me just start off by saying, if your name is Georg and you're in the chat, you have to announce yourself now. I think I can see who else is in the chat, and there's no one who could be this person. Okay. Because it's going to get good. Okay. So when I posted a story to Instagram, and it was about the worst date I've ever been on. I'm not actually sure it's the top 3 worst dates I've been on, I would say. I went with this guy. It was when I was living in Germany, and he took me ice skating on the historic town square. Sounds darling, but he like swung me around, and I flew boobs first into the side of the thing, and then I was unhappy. So he's like, let me make it up to you. Let's go to the top of the tallest tower in Jena, which was like cool. So we go up there. It was negative 15 degrees. It was so cold that I just like shivered to the point where I cried. And then we had to come back down from the top of the building. And then we go to a coffee shop in Germany called Bagels and Beans. I'm not translating that. That was what it was called. And I was like just so cold, and like the date had been so sucky that he asked me what my favorite food was, and I said bananas. Also, it was a bagel shop in Germany, which is not a country known for treating bagel makers well, if you follow me. So they
Ah,
were bad. They were very bad. And all this to say, he was fine. He was a nice guy, maybe a little boring, but that could be because he was dulling down what he was saying because I was a foreigner. You know what I mean? Because we were speaking German.
I see.
But okay, all this to say, I posted all the funniest facts with pictures because I'd been doing a Google Maps tour of the town I studied abroad in for no reason.
Oh,
I'm rambling. You can tell I've had an edible. I'm sorry.
no, this is
But
great.
I posted this to Instagram. This happened 10 years ago. It happened before I had an Instagram, so I figured there's no way this man follows me. False. He DM replied to the story. Obviously, I would never have posted like this was the worst date I've ever been on if I knew that the guy would ever see it. He was plenty sweet. He was a sweet guy, super fine. And like all of that is very understandable. He was trying, you know? Um, but he DM'd me and he was like, haha, oh God. And the worst part, oh no, I won't go on. But
Wow.
I felt so guilty. We did have a really lovely conversation. He's very sweet. And I do think I made it up a little bit. But I feel very embarrassed. Uh
Damn.
so
That
he wrote, oh no, that's good.
no.
Oh,
That is a whoops. Damn, that I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that is always a fear of mine that yes, some random like I've thought about posting like anecdotes from past jobs, like the worst job I ever had or the dumbest thing, a boss ever said to me or and then I've thought, "Oh wait, I think I'm Facebook friends with those people that story would be about." So I always bite my tongue. But there are some good work stories that I wish maybe I'll say them on the podcast one day. Have we ever done an episode? We have, right? On nightmare jobs, hating our jobs. Have we ever done
well, I
that?
don't know. I don't think we've shared our worst job stories because
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've gotten to tell my Jared Fogle story on the podcast. Have I told it every other moment of my life all the time? Yeah.
Jared Fogle. That is not ringing a bell at all.
Okay, should I just tell it to you now?
Abso-friggin-lutely.
I'm so sorry to the people who will hear this, who have heard me tell this story 8,000 times, because I also used to tell it in stand up. But I worked at a job, I worked at a child health nonprofit um, that was sponsored by the Jared Foundation, which was his nonprofit through which we obviously didn't know this. This guy, like a public health figurehead, wanted to give us money. So we took it. He very seldom worked with us, but he did a few times. Anyway, it was crazy. He was like working with us when all the pedophilia stuff came out, and I got a call at like 9 p.m. that was like, go to your laptop, go to the website management page and scrub Jared from it. Turns out he's a pedophile. Which was okay. But anyway, I did meet him. He came to our office. If you live in Austin, it was like near 183 and 290 off Runberg. So there's like not a lot nearby. It was like a really cheap area. So he comes to our office and he asks me where he should go for lunch. And there's not a lot around there. So I said the truth, which is, there's not a ton around here. I usually just go to Quiznos. And then there was
Oh shit.
long silence, and his manager came into the room and said, "You can't say that to Jared." And then his manager was actually the first one to get arrested for child pornography. So somewhere in a state penitentiary, there's just two men who are like, "Remember that time that bitch told you to go to Quiznos?" And that's me.
Wow.
I did.
You have been speaking truth to power
Thank you.
since day one.
But
Damn.
okay. Also, we didn't know him. And then, several. Sorry, this is turning into a long story. But so I thought I was like gonna get fired for telling Jared to go to Quiznos because clearly that I could, but what was really embarrassing was it turned out he just meant in the city of Austin. And like our boss ended up driving him into the city and taking him to Eastside Cafe, that nice restaurant that used to be on Manor. And
Yeah.
so I I had understood that he meant in the immediate area, but he was just asking for my favorite restaurant in Austin, and I said Quiznos. Like that is embarrassing on a different plane. Like I have culture.
That's amazing. I love, and you, but you were, this was like you're starting out. You're like how old in this story? Like you're not
24, 25, yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, if you are multi-millionaire pedophile Jared Fogle asking a 24, 25-year-old favorite restaurant, you're gonna get how many five-star restaurants had you eaten at in the city of Austin?
Okay, but I have good favorite restaurants. I'm very cultured and cool.
You are cool. No, yeah, I probably would have said some if I was 24, 25. Yeah, I would have said Chili's, the Chili's at 45th and Lamar. No, that's good. Telling Jared to go to Quiznos. Yeah. I don't think I'd ever heard that story. That's fantastic.
It was a pretty good job. It was a good organization.
Hell yeah.
Jared Fogle was not representative of it in any way.
Scrub the website of Jared Fogle. No one must ever know. That's excellent.
Where were we? Oh, that was just my that was our. We're gonna do that as an episode someday. Bad job stories. That was a little taste of what is to come.
Yeah.
On bad job stories. Da 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 da.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that I have anything that can top that, but we'll see. I'll try and think of some stuff for that episode whenever we do that. But yeah, are we ready to talk? Are we ready to talk Calm After the Storm?
First of all, people in the chat, please let us know if you've been feeling this way. Somebody said I felt that earlier when we summarized it. And then, but are you going through this? What do you feel stressed about now that the main thing is gone?
No. So let me walk you through the last 2 or 3 weeks real quick. Right when the insurrection happened, I weirdly got this like shot of adrenaline that lasted. I feel like it's just now kind of starting to wear off, but this excitement to actually turn on the news. It was the most excited I'd been to turn on the news because it was that feeling that not obviously the insurrection was a horrible thing, but the excitement had to do with that idea that like, oh, that that invisible gorilla in the room is now like painted like iridescent purple. It's glowing. The black light has been turned on, and it's now standing up, and it's in the center of the room, and we're all staring at it, pointing. And the excitement was like, what are we gonna do? Yes, we're finally all up in arms. We're pissed off. We're yelling at the TV about we're all talking about the elephant, not the gorilla, the elephant.
Who were against us and like gaslighting us for years were finally like, okay, no, you're right. And it was like, thank you.
Yeah. And it was like, we're so pissed. We're going to impeach him a second time. And so every day, I mean, every break I had from work, I would go to the news. I would go to the television, and I was just like looking at it with such excitement, and it would be like, and it almost seemed like good things might be happening. So like, we're gonna kick him out of the White House.
Yeah.
Before he even finishes his term, it'll be so humiliating. And then came inauguration day, and then that was fun. We did our inauguration episode last Wednesday, and so here we are 1 week after the inauguration. And so here for the last week, though, I keep going to the news as though I'm gonna keep seeing some sort of good news. And the news, granted, was good the first couple of days, but now like the impeachment news is getting more and more dragged
Yeah.
out. It's not looking great.
It's everybody kind of, the Republicans were like, right.
Yeah.
They lost steam.
Yeah, the whole thing lost steam. It's some things are feeling a little anticlimactic in that regard, but overall, Biden saying a lot of the right things,
Yeah.
or seems to be saying like most of the right things, doing a fair amount of the right things. There's actual plans in place, but still that desire to turn on the news and see something really exciting in a visceral way, that itch is not being scratched anymore. The news is like very unfulfilling the last few days. And now I'm like scratching my head like, well, now what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I don't know. Okay. I I I've been really compulsively reading about QAnon and like, well, all the far right movements, but QAnon is definitely the most convoluted at this point. And I can't stop reading about what they're doing now. And I texted my friend Erica, who I did a play with about far right movements.
Oh,
And I
yes.
was like,
Erica
have you
Lees.
also been reading more on far right message boards than you ever have? Because we did it because we're both like sickly fascinated with it. And she also was. It's like everybody was like, okay, but wait, no, we can't just like lose track of them now. Where are they now? Do they still? I do know. I mean, I think I talked about my favorite thing that's ever happened when the like QAnon leader guy was like, "Hey guys, it's time to hang up our shoes. But thanks for all the memories and friendships we made along the way. Incredible, best news I've ever heard." But there's some of them that are like getting worse. I
Really?
don't like, but or like they were all able to be, you get it. We are all when you said like the thing that no, like we were being told not to believe, that we were like being basically like gaslit into thinking wasn't important. It became very clear that it is actually important. And now we've
Right.
lost track of it again.
Yeah, it seems like clearly it's like Jesus, we have to strike when the iron, not just when the iron is hot, but it's like it has to be scorching, blindingly red hot the moment it starts to cool for the shortest amount of time. It's like, what's the point now? It would be like impeaching George Washington. Who cares?
Yeah.
And
If George Washington could run in 2024, dude, okay, imagine. No, well,
Chloe's
I don't even know how to
boyfriend,
describe
Lindsey
you.
Graham.
Or are we going to talk about Lindsey Graham's other universe where he's a gunkle?
Oh, yeah.
Which is podcast canon.
Yeah.
Where, never mind. Sorry, I did forget what we were just talking about.
Okay,
Bad
it'll
memory.
come back to you, I bet. Let's see. There's a new Vice special, according to Tony G. Wiz.
Yeah, I haven't seen one made in the past month or anything.
Yeah.
Maybe he means the Charlottesville one, but probably not. That's not
Maybe
new.
where apparently the leader of the Proud Boys turned out to be a narc. Is that what he?
Yeah, I think he told on people, and also
Interesting.
he said like good stuff about Biden.
That's so
Vice
weird.
EQ. Okay.
What a crazy time to be living in. But no, it's sort of like, yeah, what now? Yeah, it has left me. There's just been a weird feeling of like, what now? And I guess if you're wondering, I'll say a couple of things from my therapist brain. So when we get used to living with a constant state of anxiety, a feeling of calm can actually be really scary because it can trigger this feeling of like, well, when is the other shoe going to drop? Like a lot of people And the same thing can actually happen with depression as well. If someone is really used to being depressed and then suddenly something really incredible like happens in their life, and for a brief moment they feel pure joy, it oftentimes is immediately followed by an intense anxiety because they're scared of like when they're going to go over that hill in the roller coaster. Like, I'm hitting this great high, but oh no, what's going to happen when the other shoe drops? But anxiety, very similar thing. It's like we've been used to living in this constant state of fear. Now it actually seems like there's some reason to be hopeful. There are some pretty exciting hopeful things happening right now. An actual vaccine rollout plan. Like, we're finally being told things. It's like it's not rocket science. Like, he's doing some of the right things and saying some of the right things, and a lot of us are finally like, yes, we've been dying for this for so long. And then it's like, but I feel like I should still be scared though. I feel like I should still be like cautious. I guess cautiously optimistic is maybe uh, the thing. Um, but yeah, uh, I feel like I'm guilty of this, not just when it comes to world events, but I'm someone who I have a hard time relaxing. Imagine that. Uh, it's not like I'm high strung or anything. Um, But no, how may I ask that of you, Katie? Would you say that you have a hard time relaxing, or are you someone maybe you don't have that problem?
Oh no, literally I think I smoke weed like every day. And before I did that, sorry mom. That would definitely, if my mom listens to this will be how she learns that. But it's
Sorry, German boyfriend. I mean,
my I had a hard time for a really long time, and I do think that's why I got into weed, was that it's the only thing that makes me feel like I can sit still and watch a TV show and not feel guilty for not doing 20 other things.
yeah.
So that is probably something I shouldn't just rely on forever, but it has legitimately had a stabilizing effect on my life. So
No, that's awesome. Yeah. No, it's like uh uh we do have a friend. I shouldn't say their name. But we do have a friend who has been prescribed uh, psych meds, and those did not really do much of anything for that person, and they find marijuana to be much more helpful in that department. So what are you going to do?
what
What
are
you
you
going to
gonna
do?
do?
Hey, we need more. Oh yeah, speaking of a friend of mine was telling me recently to invest in an index fund. No idea what that is,
Oh,
but
that people are talking about markets today. So
markets.
just tell me more about this index fund. Is it
But
related to the market?
it's related to the market, not the big story of the day to day. Yeah, I'm pretty sure January 27th, 2021, or at least this week in January of 2021, will go down in history as like the day that GameStop destroyed the financial security of the world.
It is a very sexy turn of events.
Yeah.
I'm horny for the stock market right now.
Yeah. I'm in a group text right now with all dudes. We're
Hell yeah.
called the Cool Hand Bros.
Nice.
Um, and everyone is investing right now except for me because I don't know what any of these words mean.
Okay, can I have a genuine panic about finances on our podcast just for a second? I know I keep pulling us off topic. I last week I have two investments accounts. One is an IRA I set up for my, like a Roth IRA I set up for myself.
Good for you.
Uh but hold on. So I put there's like $6,000 in that because it's a small sum of money I had left over from like college, and then like $20 a month ever since. So where was I going with this? There's $6,000. Oh yeah, and then I have a work IRA, and they put money in it, and it's like they did a good bundle. It like goes up all the time. It's cool,
Oh, nice.
and that's how I realized that my Roth IRA, I didn't it doesn't go up because apparently when you get a Roth IRA, you're supposed to then go select like what you want it to be invested in. So it's basically tied to a stock portfolio. And I never did that. And now I realize I absolutely have to do that if I want it to go up because right now I'm not even keeping up with inflation. And so now I have to figure, and if you take it out, there's a fee. So I'm like, I have to learn stuff. This is a whole fucking research project I just realized I had. And so that happened like 5 days ago. And today everybody's talking about stocks. And I'm like, should I literally? Sanjay was like, you can put money in and then take it right out. I was like, should I buy AMC stock for an hour and then divest it? And then
Yeah.
I was like, but I have $6,000. How much do I do that with? I should start small. I think I actually need to sign up for the Robinhood app and like learn about stocks for a month and then
See,
figure it out.
see, this goes back to my I am following so many POC financial literacy accounts on
Mhm.
Instagram.
Ooh.
And they are so
Nice.
empowering and inspiring. I love them. They're all about financial literacy, but from the point of view, very like from the idea of like POC wealth, POC entrepreneurship, and
Do you remember any of the usernames?
oh yeah, the one if you follow uh, Black Wall Street,
Ooh, okay.
Black Wall Street. And if you follow that one, you'll get all sorts of suggestions that will spring off that. And then that'll just take you in a zillion. I think that was the first one I followed. And now I follow like 50. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah.
I do need to learn more about financial literacy. But I can tell you at least like several of our mutual friends invested in AMC today, Katie. I was not one of them.
I mean, in a way, it's your donation to bringing down capitalism. I don't. If I had given $20, I probably would never have checked on it again. And that's why I'm not going to get ahead in this world.
I do. What the reason I brought up
Oh,
this subject in the first place, it had to do with weed because I was talking with this great friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a few years, but we go way back, and they were talking about how they've really gotten into financial literacy over the last few years, and they were talking about an index fund that is a kind of a compilation of different stocks that are connected with marijuana dispensaries,
hmm.
and it's a specific collection of these marijuana stocks that are expected to only go up in coming years as more and more states legalize. So
That's smart. I
that's a
should definitely do that.
I know it sounds like that would be fun, right?
Well,
Invest in,
I'm gonna write down email Lane about this because I have no idea where to start.
I don't know either, but I do know having a Roth IRA, I've always been told Roth IRAs are great because you pay taxes on it now when you are contributing money, but when we're old, when you're like I don't know, 100, when you're 100, you're going to take it all out and you won't have to pay taxes on it then,
Yeah,
and it'll be worth a lot of money then.
yeah, yeah. I'm just
But I didn't know
I gotta
anything.
do it.
I never realized that you have to select some sort of a portfolio, though. I guess I
Oh,
never.
yeah. I'm gonna call. They have like investors attached to your account. I'm like, can I just call one of them and be like, can you just sign me up for the 31 bundle? Like, I'm 31 years old. What's gonna be good when I am close to death?
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but I just checked on our Twitch chat for the first time in like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I wonder if they're talking about financial literacy, and they're talking about microdosing mushrooms.
I would do it.
I love it. Um, I love it. Tim, I'm glad you're getting the vaccine on Friday. Congrats to you. Uh, let's see, but yeah, apparently people are microdosing mushrooms. And but yeah, GameStop. GameStop. Oh, I have a client who is so young. They're
How
currently
young is they?
they're uh they're in college right now, and they invested in GameStop last week when the stock was at $30 a share, and it's now at like
Did he
$400 a
sell?
share. Well, no, I don't think so. I didn't talk to this person today,
I
but when
saw
I talked,
that
but
it
when I
was.
talked,
Sorry, go ahead.
well, the last I talked to them, it was at like $200 a share, and they were not selling. So I don't know what they're planning on doing now.
I read something, and I don't know if this is true or was a joke from who, but that people could program because people were doing it with an app that automates, that they were all setting their app to disinvest the second it hit 420.69. Like,
Genius, genius.
so that probably is soon. It's
This is amazing. So is this how we can take back our economy? Is through whatever this is that's happening?
Anthony Scaramucci tweeted that this was the French Revolution of banking or something like that. I don't know if we listened to it. It made me laugh. I was like, do you think it was like the French Revolution was good? Do other people not think the French Revolution was good? It was good.
French. It was good. I don't know anything about history. Who are
They
the French?
pulled all the rich people out into the center of the street and they beheaded them
Oh, this is
because
Marie
they
Antoinette.
deserved it.
Marie Antoinette
Yes.
beheaded. Okay, gotcha. I only know history through Sofia Coppola movies, so that's it.
Fair.
Oh, anyway,
I rewatched Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette last month. So this is one time when I know the movie you're talking about because it has Kirsten Dunst
Kirsten
in it.
Dunst.
And the art direction is so it's a beautiful movie. I literally just watched it because it makes my eyes horny.
Yeah, it's great. And isn't that Kirsten Dunst delightful?
I love her. Listen, unironically, just if we're participating in lifelong stan culture, I am a lifetime dedicatee to Kirsten Dunst. Every movie she's ever made, she's been perfect in.
Oh yeah, she's great. I had the biggest crush on her right around that time. She was like the queen of teen movies for several years. Bring It On, and there was a movie called Crazy Beautiful.
Get Over It. I think I've mentioned on this podcast before is literally maybe my favorite movie. It's the lesser known from that time with Cisco and Colin Hanks. But Dick was before. It would have been weird if you thought she was sexy in Dick, but because she was 15. But she was
What?
great. She was so good.
Well, she's very. I thought aren't they both pretty sexualized in that movie?
Sexual. I don't think she's 15.
No,
that might have been 15.
No, I thought that movie came out later than that.
I'm sorry for what I'm doing.
No. Yeah, let's.
Dick Cast. Okay. 1999, it came out.
Okay.
And she was born in 82. So it came out when she was 17.
17. Wow.
And they would have filmed it the year before. So she was probably 16 when she filmed
Whoa, that's crazy. I had no idea she was so. Boy, they really trotted her out there, didn't they?
Yeah. But she also was doing like great work. Sorry.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I mean, that was an era of sexualizing teens. I'm reading Jessica Simpson's autobiography right now. So let me tell you, if you want to talk about sexualizing teen girls in the early 2000s, I'm here for you, friend.
I mean, hey, do I want to talk about sexualizing teen girls? Wait, that came out wrong. Don't play this at my funeral. Damn it. No, I was just talking with a client. This is one of those weird moments where sometimes I'm in sync with a client in the weirdest, like, how is that possible sort of way. And it was just like, they just out of the blue said something about, isn't it amazing that Dakota Fanning like exists, and like we should be talking more about Dakota Fanning. And I was like, yes, yeah, we should. And they were like, yeah, Dakota Fanning, we watched her grow up, and she really grew up into a pretty graceful, mature young woman, like a really just a seemingly pretty great person. And yeah, and we were both like, yeah, we follow her on Instagram, and I'm like, yeah, we should feel proud of the young lady that Dakota Fanning became.
I just feel so bad because her Quibi series debuted the week it crashed.
Oh no.
Just so you know, she had one.
Damn.
It would have been the diamond of her career.
Well, what's crazy is that as big of a career she had, it's now totally eclipsed by her younger sister.
Sister's great.
Yeah, and she's great too. But Dakota seems like what?
Nothing. I said the great, if you will, and then I laughed, even though it wasn't really funny. It's the show she's in. She's in a show called. You said she's great, and then I said the great.
Oh, see, I didn't even.
Did you watch it?
No. I don't know what that is. The Great?
You haven't watched The Great? I'm sorry. The Great is among my top 5 shows I watched in 2020. And keep in mind how many shows we all watched in 2020. Elle Fanning plays Catherine the Great. And it takes you from like, because she overthrows her husband as king. It's like the story of Catherine the Great. And so it's her. And then, God, who's the guy who plays Beast in X-Men? Nicholas
Kelsey Grammer.
But it's funny and terrifying and violent and quirky and smart. Race blind casting. I mean, most people are white, but you know what I mean. It's like not.
Yeah.
It's modern.
Are there British accents?
Yeah, they do accents.
Yeah.
I think they're British. I think they're British accents. Yeah. Nicholas Hall. That's the guy's name. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, I am the opposite of an Anglophile in that this is one of the weird quirks about me, is that if I watch a movie or a show with a sprawling British cast and it goes up exponentially if it's a period piece, and it again goes up exponentially if it's a period piece set in like the royal kind of thing.
You're about to have a good time.
No. I'm sorry. I'm saying I can't do it.
You can't do it.
No. I don't.
That's like my entire TV palette.
I know. It means, yeah. It means I'm not compatible with a lot of people.
That's fine. I know that it is like a white girl thing to be into that.
Well, and I don't even discriminate, because you would think, looking at this nerdery package here, that I would be a big Monty Python person. I never watched a single Monty Python movie until about a month ago. And
Do you like them?
They're okay.
I guess you are getting it way after the fact. Like, it's aged 20 years since I saw it the first.
But Holy Grail, and I have gotten so much shit over that my whole life, and it was good. I liked it.
You got so much shit, but you didn't just watch it one time? I fell asleep during The Life of Brian, and I never finished it. So,
but it's weird when you get a bunch of British people with doing their British thing and their British faces and their names and their accents. My eyes glaze over, and by the end of a 2-hour movie, I'm like, they all look alike, they all sound alike, their names all sound alike. I don't know who's a lord and a lady and a
Yeah.
duke and a duchess. And I'm just like, I want this to end. I can never do it. It's the weirdest quirk about me.
I don't feel that way, but everything you just said made perfect sense. There was a meme about like because the brothers, there was like three brothers in Bridgerton, and they did look very similar. And someone posted like, we were supposed to be able to tell the people who made this show thought we could tell these three men apart, and it was just like they all had the exact same haircut and they all had the same outfit, because outfits, yeah, we can't tell the difference between outfits back then. They all have the same personal style to me.
Right, right. No. I like, especially when I'm watching old movies where like, now you go to the movies and you just have this facial recognition of like all of the famous actors of the now. And you say, but you watch a movie from like the 40s. I love when it would be like tall blonde man and then short dark haired man, tall blonde woman, short dark haired. It's like I can tell that's a different person, and that. But sometimes like you just see a bunch of white people in an old black and white movie, and if they all have black hair, I'm like, wait, okay, wait, that is that who? Wait, which white guy with black hair is that again?
I don't understand. Okay, you know what? I'm just like I acknowledge that The Departed was a well-performed movie. But if you can remember the difference between Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon for that many hours, like you're a better person than me. I don't know which is which. And
that's amazing. Yeah. That is great. That is great. Matt, you would get Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio mixed up in that? That's amazing.
I was watching it in college with my friend Mary Beth. I was like, why did they cast two people who look so similar? And that was when she realized they were two different people.
What?
Yeah.
But I would think that because they're so famous individually, you would recognize them you would tell them apart, Matt Damon and Leo. No?
Well, they're old now. They look different now. Also, I mean, like 10 years ago, I watched The Departed. I feel like at this point, I would just be like, that guy looks more recognizable to me because Matt Damon has fallen off, but Leo's star continued to rise. But where was I going with this? It was just, I don't know.
That's amazing.
Oh, and then did anybody watch Fate? A Winx saga, because Netflix would not let me not watch it. I know you wouldn't have gotten recommended it, Lane.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
It's like it was recommended. I have watched all the Vampire Diaries and Sabrina, so it told me to watch Fate the Winx saga, and it would not let it go. So I watched it. There are two white men in the movie. They're like two blonde guys who live together, and there were like their main characters. I couldn't fucking tell them apart for 3 episodes. It's so painful. We can't tell handsome people apart. I can't tell handsome people apart.
No, sometimes
they all have the same face.
Right. No, sometimes, I've seen movies where it's like, wait, why did you cast two actors that look so similar? No bueno. I do. Yeah, I feel like I would be the old timey movie producer, like you have someone with black hair the next person must have blonde hair. How else will we tell them apart? What was I going to add to this? Oh, I was going to ask you, have you seen or would you have any interest in watching the docu-series that's out right now on Netflix on Fran Lebowitz, Pretend It's a City?
I have not watched it because I haven't been in the right place to watch a docu-series. But okay. I did just plan to watch it immediately. To be honest, it was one of the things where I was like, this feels made for me. And then everyone watched it. And I was like, I guess it has mass appeal. So I'm not special. If I were special, I would have watched it by now. But everybody loves it.
I didn't know everyone loved it. I loved it. Am I everyone?
I mean, I love when people like things. I just don't. I thought I was unique and I'm not. But okay, so you watched it, you liked it. She's a sassy bitch. Should I not say that? Is that sexist to me? She's a woman with opinions. I identify with her as a woman with opinions.
Yeah, she's a woman with opinions. She's a lesbian, although she doesn't really talk about any of that in there. That it really never comes up, I guess, which is fine. I mean, hey, she didn't have to talk about it. She didn't want to talk about it. I mean, it just didn't come up. Okay, I didn't make the thing. I just watched it. What was the question?
It is interesting. Oh my god, I almost texted you when I saw it at first. I remember now that I typed out a cute little text that I don't think I sent that was like opinionated lesbian star, but directed by Scorsese, a meeting of our minds. I would watch, what you would watch.
No, so I put it on, and Chloe turned to me, and Chloe was like in awe at how much. Chloe turned to me before I could even say it. Chloe goes, "Lane, she is your soulmate." Because she is such a she is like a lovable curmudgeon, but with that weird sort of the Lane romanticism, kind of like there. She's not a full-on Larry David, like because I was describing her to someone who was unfamiliar with her, and they go, "Oh, she sounds like Larry David," and I was like, "No, close." I could see why you would think that from me just trying to describe how funny this person is and their unique way of seeing the world. There are a lot of similarities with Larry David, but the difference is that the way she talks about certain things, it is with such awe and romance where it just makes your heart melt, and Larry David is so like unsentimental about everything. Anyway, I loved it so much. It's so great.
I'll have to watch it. After I am going to watch the QAnon documentary, QAnon 101 from Vice on YouTube that I've recommended.
Okay. Cool.
But after that, I'll watch. Sorry, look, I brought us back on topic. QAnon.
Yes.
The void in our soul. Oh, I just realized that we're dressed the same today.
I guess we are.
We're both wearing gray button downs. And they're unbuttoned to the same button. That's the other thing that people need to know. But oh yeah, okay. So Lane, it made me feel very validated when you said that there are like studies about how when you've been anxious for a long time and that stops being there, that causes anxiety.
Oh, yes.
Because I think sometimes that makes us feel weak or crazy, where it's like, I should be able to be like grateful for what I'm experiencing right now. I know what real crazy is or whatever.
Right.
But that's not how our brains work.
True. Because I think of anxiety as being this little force that it gets so used to gripping hold of our brain and sort of doing this override where it's like basically saying like, "Oh, that's scary. That's scary. Yeah. Be scared of that. Be scared of that." And then when there's nothing completely like in your face to be scared of, that's when anxiety starts to get really creative. So this is what this is what all of us might want to be on the lookout for, is now that there's not an obvious, like, be afraid of Trump, be afraid of Pence or whatever. Now anxiety might start getting so creative as to like, be afraid of gaining weight. Oh no. Is that your body in the mirror? Oh, you better hate yourself. You better hate this, or you better be afraid of that. And then we can end up just convincing ourselves to be afraid of just so many things when really this could present a really wonderful opportunity if we can find ways in our own lives to take some deep breaths and maybe do some mindfulness exercises and try to find those things that for us bring us some sense of joy, calm, or peace. And even if it feels this is temporary, like maybe it feels maybe genuinely a week or two from now another bad thing will happen in the world, at least maybe we can enjoy or soak up this little calm in the storm for just a moment to kind of catch our breath and recharge a
Yeah.
little bit. And I think, you know, and I think weirdly, I think that's kind of what we're doing as we just talk about fun stuff like The Great and
Yeah.
Fran Lebowitz and just what are we, and people in the chat talking about microdosing mushrooms. Hey, maybe now's the time to be microdosing all sorts of stuff.
All sorts of things. Yeah, dude. Okay, so one thing that I've noticed a lot of, and I kind of get it, because they're removing Andrew Jackson from the 20 and putting Harriet Tubman on it.
Are they really?
And they're doing that like immediately. Apparently, it was like already almost done when
Whoa.
Obama left office, and then the Trump administration reversed it. But they basically already had the money printed. So the Harriet Tubman bills are coming out like soon. Not, I mean, I don't know what soon is. It could be like, oh, this would usually take 10 years, but they're doing it in 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think they're starting to roll out like pretty immediately. Anyway, but my Twitter feed, because I do admit I have like a crazy leftist Twitter feed. I'm sorry, I'm like touching my bangs constantly. I need to shower. But they're like, oh great, like we're putting Harriet Tubman on exactly the sort of like institutions she fought against, or like on the currency of the that imprisoned her. What like sorry, all of this is like these are all valid criticisms. I'm just saying, like, people getting immediately mad instead of being like, okay, to me it's kind of a huge deal that we had we Andrew Jackson committed genocide. Literally, he committed genocide of an entire people. He and then there are legitimate quotes from Hitler about how inspired he was by Andrew Jackson. And we took that
Really?
motherfucker off the $20 bill.
Whoa.
I think that is like, let's just celebrate for a fucking second, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I get that like putting a black woman on the $20 bill doesn't fix like the inherent racism of our current capitalist system. I agree. But like, do we have to be mad that they put Harriet Tubman on the 20? I'm not going to be mad. I'm going to be happy and continue to ask for more. I don't know.
Right. No, yeah, yes, I agree. It's like it's sometimes hard to put into words, but I think you nailed it better than I've been trying to say that for 4 years. But yeah, like to be happy and to always be wanting more.
Yeah.
When it comes to I would hate for that to get taken out of context. That's not me overeating, and that's not me trying to be greedy about material wealth. That's to be happy for the progress that a society makes, but to always be hungry for more progress. It's not, in other words, nobody should be celebrating anything that's happening this past week in the sense of saying, it's all fixed and now we can just rest on our laurels. But we should feel some happiness and some celebration that good things are starting to happen again. But clearly the fight needs to continue, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I like that. See, you say things in very few words, and then I ramble on for 10 minutes about those same few words.
I think we're tied. I think we swap back and forth on that.
I'm talking like Regis now. Somebody who Larry King died. That's probably not in either of our wheelhouses, but they are a broadcaster. Sorry.
Are you saying that our colleague interviewer Larry King?
Yeah. Well, I said I did a horrible Regis impression, and then I thought, oh yeah, Regis died, and then my mind went, wait, but somebody really big just died. Oh yeah, Larry King.
There was a major comedic actress death right before we got on.
Oh yes, Cloris Leachman. Yeah. She was a little before my time, but I believe she did some really incredible work in the I think in the 70s. I want to say like the Mary Tyler Moore Show or Rhoda. Anyway, I know our core listening audience, big Rhoda fans, But no, Cloris Leachman, comedy royalty. Um, let's see. Who is Tina talking about?
Oh, sorry. Tina briefly went back to how all the people in the Winx saga looked the same. Tina, one of our listeners, as an example of, I said, did anybody else think they all look the same? She said, I had to put on closed captions so it would put the character's name in front of it and I could tell them apart.
And
that made
that's
me feel very validated.
nice. And that's the show was called Winx.
It's Fate, a Winx saga. It is a teen drama based on a cartoon that came out in like 2012. Listen, I'm not like saying everybody should watch this. I'm just holding it up as an example of how producers think we can tell white people apart. And the truth is, no, we cannot. Not even I can.
No, we cannot. Yeah, do you ever see two pictures of like two different very attractive people, and I've thought to myself, how am I ever going to tell these two people apart? Like it's oftentimes the young and up and coming. I'm trying to. There have been examples over the years where I'm just like, my mind just can't distinguish. Over time, I start to get it, but sort of like when Skeet Ulrich first arrived on the scene. I know everybody remembers Skeet Ulrich. Anyway, he looked exactly like Johnny Depp. He was the guy in Scream. Did you ever see Scream?
Yeah, but not in a lot of years.
No worries. No worries. That was an outdated reference. What was I going to say? The movie Promising Young Woman. Have you seen this yet, Katie?
I can't wait. Wait, am I going to like it? I've seen mixed reviews, but when I say mixed, I mean like 70 good, 30 bad.
No, my hunch is, we liked it. My hunch is you would like it. At the very least, it's a good conversation starter. I've had a couple of clients already talk about, a couple of female clients already talk about what an incredible
they liked it
experience it was, that it really caused them to think. Well, and I even have had a male client really have their mind blown watching it. Anyway, it could perhaps be the subject of a future episode if you wanted, but it's one that a lot of people are talking about right now.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know, I guess trigger warning.
Yeah, it's
the audience.
It's a very trigger warning.
It is a sexual or a rape revenge movie from the female perspective, which bizarrely rape revenge movies are always made by men, but this is like a rare, thoughtful one.
Yeah, written and directed by a woman, female protagonist, Carey Mulligan, who's fantastic in it. And surprisingly, I don't know if this spoils anything, but like, and the special features confirm this, interviews with the writer director confirm this, is that they wanted to make a socially conscious film on a very important subject, but also make a very entertaining movie.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So it's not like it's not as graphic in any sense of the word or gratuitous as some people might think it to be. It actually, I thought, it's a pretty entertaining movie.
That's good.
Yeah. Sorry for bringing that up.
Oh, no. Totally. Sorry, I was just trying to remember what I was going to suggest. Sorry, can I just recommend kind of exactly in the same wheelhouse, but comedy? Did we talk about Nate on this podcast? Have you heard of this comedy special, Nate?
No.
Okay, I have to do a hard endorse horse about this. Okay, so Nate, if you're at home and you're asking yourself if Katie could recommend one thing to me in the past 12 months, although I did just rewatch Astronomy Club and you should watch that too. But the special Nate is on Netflix. It's about an hour and a half. It's not that long. It is a theater experience by a woman who I just assumed the entire time I was watching it was an improv or sketch comedian. Very bizarre. The person whose comedy in Austin I compared it to most was Christina Parrish. It's just fucking weird. And it's so funny every second. But the whole I don't want to give too much away because I didn't even know this going in, but it is in the descriptions if you read them. The whole comedy show is about consent. But it's like this woman dressed as a dude who's just psycho gross, like disgusting body hair. She is just topless with gross hair all over her body. Anyway,
Okay, I pulled
I'm
up the
rambling.
cover to it. Yeah.
It's so weird and stupid and just like dumb, dumb, dumb funny. And then also like the most powerful conversation about like consent and how easy but how hard it is at the same time. Like the discussion around it is anyway, I'm rambling, but
Yeah, no,
watch it.
interesting. Interesting. Well, this is a very different kind of experience, but in a way kind of similar, and that is this show on Hulu right now called Derek Delgadio's In and of Itself. It is it was a one-man show that played in Manhattan for a couple of years, and then it's basically a filmed performance or a compilation. You know, they shot several
Mhm.
and kind of edited it together to be a cohesive 90-minute special. And it's on Hulu. Again, it's called Derek Delgadio's In and of Itself.
Okay.
And it is I don't know if you follow Brett Vervoort. And she posted about it, and several Kyle Romero was texting me and several other people about it, of like how
These are
it's
both people with great taste.
great taste. And it's the impression I get is if you are a real theater person, like maybe you were a theater kid growing up, or you just have a real strong appreciation for live theater, um and you're kind of missing it because comedy is dead. I mean, theater
Yeah.
is dead. I mean, hey, hopefully it'll come back soon. It's a special that is kind of surprising. It's not a comedy special. It is a in a weird way, it's kind of a demonstration of like mentalism, like a mentalist, kind of magic, kind of a magician mentalist, but also a autobiographical one man show kind of thing. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's kooky.
Spooky. Well, you know what we did today? Here's what we did today. We talked a lot about TV. I'm not going to lie. We talked a lot about TV. If you listen to a podcast recorded during the COVID times, you heard a lot about TV. Okay, so suck it.
You know
So
about
we
TV?
TV is creativity. TV is comedy, which is half of what this podcast is about. And then we also talked a little bit about mental health. We talked some about that. And so if you think about it, we actually stayed on topic the whole time. But I think what we took away is that we are reflecting. Well, look at us just talking about the things that we thought were funny. We're talking about the things that we thought were silly.
Mm-hmm.
We can practice gratitude and want more. I feel like if we're stressing and we're like, why are we still stressing? We don't have to feel guilty about stressing.
No,
we
we
just gotta
don't.
practice gratitude at the same time.
Boom. Boom.
I just tried to find a point to what we did for an hour.
Boom.
And I
you
did.
know what? And if you're gonna have sex, you know, your mom and dad, you know, your mom and I, we would like just be safe. Just do it here. Just keep it safe.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. We don't want you doing it out in the woods. Stay out of the woods.
It's not like masks. 2 condoms won't help more.
Put on a mask. Put a mask over your condom.
Mask for mask, which is when you put a mask over your condom.
It's called what?
Mask for mask. Oh, sorry. That's Craigslist for dude.
What? I've never heard this.
Well, now you know.
Now
I'm sorry that you were never part of Martini Ranch
Oh, okay.
team, where we talk about mask for mask all the time.
I thought you were gonna say like sorry you were never a part of, and I thought you were gonna say like the Craigslist sex club.
I was part of the Craigslist sex club. Wait, have I never shown you my tattoo? No. What if I showed you a tattoo and it said Craigslist sex club? Would you have? Could you have handled it?
Could your mind even handle it?
What if, man?
Yeah, that would destroy your cookie cutter world, man. No, this has been fun. So what was I gonna say? Plugging other shows. Watch Stool Pigeon and This Is a Video Store and reruns of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and the Munsters. Rhoda. I think ColdTowne TV Twitch shows reruns of Rhoda on Tuesday afternoons.
Is that real?
I think it's real. I'm going to make it happen. Preston and I are going to work on it. Thank you, Preston, our technical director. And Wednesdays here on the ColdTowne Twitch channel on
Twitch.tv/ColdTowne TV.
There it is. Thank you.
And if you're listening on a podcast and you're like, what day do these come out? Every Friday, friend. You know why? Because our tech, Preston Pentecost, is reliable, friendly, kind, smart, and edits our podcasts within 48 hours, which when I did it, it would sometimes take a month and a half. So just give it up for Preston. If you're alone in your car on the interstate right now, have a little clap for him.
Yeah. If you ever drive through Texarkana, think of Preston, because I think he is from there, if I'm not mistaken. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. But anyway, thank you so much for listening and being in the chat.
That's funny. Okay.
So close.
We'll post on our socials where Preston is from, unless you want to tell us.
I'm sure Preston wants us giving out as many as personal details, his permanent address. Yeah. And thank you, everyone. Tony, G Wiz, Tina, Tim, other people, Will, Stinky, Chewy, Lefty.
I haven't listened to the names you said, so if you forgot one, don't blame me.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm sorry. Okay.
It's been great talking with you.
Love you, Lane. I miss you.
Love you. Miss you. Give Sanjay a hug for us.
Wet kiss.
A wet kiss. A little man kiss.
Okay. Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.